What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about IQ Capital, which is a prop firm which is getting more and more popular. So today we're going to talk about all of the features of the platform and why I think you should put this on your radar. So first of all, my channel is all about trading crypto, right? And so this prop firm is about trading crypto, but you can also trade TradFi futures if you want to. There's two different options for you to choose. You can trade between either cryptos, or if you want, you can trade, for example, NASDAQ, S&P 500 futures, TradFi futures. If you don't want to, you can also, of course, trade cryptos. And one of the things I really like about this platform is they have a ton of different pairs when it comes to trading cryptos as well. And also the pricing is very fair, which we'll go over here in just a minute. So you can see here, prove your skills, trade crypto and CFDs, right? And you can also just get started for $1 and get a $10,000 account. Yes, that is actually legit. You can just get started for actually $1 and you get a $10,000 account just for signing up and being new to the platform, basically. So when it comes to, for example, trading crypto, they have 16 of the major pairs, right? So Bitcoin, right? ETH, Sol, etc. And for the various different altcoins, they have over 200 different altcoins, right? I mean, basically anything you can think of, they probably have on the platform. They even have meme coins. They have over 200 meme coins, for example, right? And a lot of the smaller ones as well, not even just the big ones. And they also have, of course, CFDs, right? Metal, you can trade metals, energy, agriculture, right? I'm American, so I don't trade CFDs. I believe they're banned in America, but I don't trade CFDs. But Americans can, of course, use IQ Capital. There's no jurisdiction restrictions along with that. Actually, there's very few. There's only like 1 or 2 countries that are basically banned. So basically anyone can actually sign up. And you can trade via a few different platforms. You can trade via MetaTrader 5. You can trade via Volumetrica. That's what I'm using. I'll show you that briefly. I actually really like Volumetrica so far. It's very intuitive, just straightforward. It's very good. What's also cool is they support payouts via USDC as well. So, and in other stable coins. So you can also withdraw via your bank transfer, crypto, right? And you can also get paid within 48 hours, or it says here that we will pay you a 100% profit split on it. Now, when it comes to reviews and also just popularity, I can see that the, amount of viewership on the website is getting more and more popular, right? Just in the past month, there's been over 300,000 viewers in a single month. And you can take a look at all of the various different Trustpilot reviews as well of people talking about their experiences. There's also a big community in the Discord channel as well. Now, when it comes to the founders of the company as well, they are German, Zusammen Vasket, Deutschland. That's also one thing to note as well. So overall, it's a fairly newer-ish prop firm, but it's getting more and more popular, and honestly for the right reasons. All right, so now I want to talk about the pricing, how it looks like for each account, etc. So first of all, if you're brand new, you can actually sign up for $1 and you can get a $10,000 account, right? So for literally $1 if you're just a new customer, right? And this is also fairly applicable when it comes to futures. So you can get a $9, $50,000 account when it comes to TradFi futures. Now, for example, for CFD and crypto, right? We're just talking about crypto here. So, on this channel. So I just want to focus on that. Now, let's talk about the rules. Let's talk about the trading platform. Let's talk about how this works and the pricing, all of that. So for example, if you're going through a just standard $50,000 account, right? And you're trading via, let's just say Volumetrica, that's the one I've used and liked. And right, you go through the evaluation, how does that look like? And then we'll get into the pricing. So the drawdown mode is end of day balance. That's very good for traders. That's what you want. And the maximum drawdown is $3,000. So the max amount that you can lose on a $50,000 account during the eval stage is $3,000. That's also during the funded stage as well. Now, the position loss flat 1%. What does this mean? This means, and by the way, you need to make sure you know all the rules before you even get an account or try this out. But basically what this essentially means is that for a $50,000 account, you cannot lose $500 or more in one trade, right? You can do it once and it's okay. But if you do it twice, then that's you had 2 warnings and you just breached the account. So it doesn't pass. So what does that essentially mean? It essentially means that you have to have a risk of less than $500 per trade, or else you're going to breach that rule right there. Now, the profit target in total is $4,000. And again, with this, you can trade various different cryptos, right? There's tons. And I'll show you some of the pairs here in just a second. Now, when you pass that, then you move on to the funded stage. And here it's still the end of day balance when it comes to the drawdown. The maximum drawdown is just like the eval, so 3,000. The position loss flat is 0.5%. So what does this mean? This means that now when you get the funded account, you cannot lose more than $250 per trade. So if you do that twice, for example, then you breach the account and you fail it. Now, the profit share is 90%. That's very fair. The consistency, though, is 30%. So what does this mean? Let's go over some examples. So let's say on day 1, you make $500. The next day you make $450. The next day you make $550. The next day you make $500. So the total is $2,000. So the largest day here was $550. Now $550 out of $2,000 is 27.5%. So you passed the consistency rule. Now, let's say you have a big day, right? You, for example, make $400 one day, you make $300 the next, $500 the next, $800 the next, and then, you are done. You make $2,000 out of this, right? Now, your largest day here is $800. $800 out of $2,000 in this scenario is 40%. So that does not pass the consistency rule. So what does that mean? It means that you cannot have, for example, major days where, you make $100 a day, $100 a day, and then $5,000 one day, and then expect that to go towards your payout. That's not going to happen. Essentially, it makes you be a very good trader when it comes to just taking consistent profits, $200 a day, $200 a day, $200 a day, right? Now, in the TradFi prop firm space, this is very common. So for example, Apex Futures and many other platforms usually make a consistency rule, right? So it can be annoying, but it definitely makes you become a better trader. Now, the amount and cost for a $50,000 account is normally $199. But if you just put in a simple coupon code like my name, Trev here, you can get 80% off. So yes, 80% off for the crypto accounts, which is really cool. I mean, that's only $40. Now, if you compare that pricing to, for example, on Kraken Prop, the $50,000 account is $180. Now, I have a discount for that as well, but it's 2%, right? So it's really not that much. And that is $180. But then a big difference between the two is that there is no consistency rule on, for example, Kraken Prop, right? So they both have their pros and cons in a lot of ways. But I think IQ Capital overall has a really good pricing model. And honestly, with this coupon code, I would say the pricing is very fair as well. And that is for crypto. And then when it comes to futures, you can get 70% off if you use the code TREV. All right, so here on the back end, you can see, for example, your various different accounts. You can see your orders. You can see various different things like that. They also have trading contests. You can see the economic calendar, Discord server, all of that. Now, they also show the various different platforms and the tutorial on how to get started with those. Now, for example, I could be trading on Volumetrica on its own platform, and I could be trading outside of, for example, IQ Capital, or you can be trading within IQ Capital right here, IQC Trader. And here is basically just how the platform kind of looks, and it's very similar to if you're trading on, for example, like Tradevate on TradingView. It's very simple and just overall very intuitive when it comes to Volumetrica. It's great. So it's pretty cool. I mean, you can just trade directly through the dashboard on IQ Capital. That's what I've been doing. Very intuitive overall when it comes to all the features. You can put in, for example, the USD amount. Actually, first, let's look over the tickers. So here I can look at the major crypto pairs that, are here. I can look at, for example, just other crypto pairs as well. And a lot of these are so small in terms of market cap that I'm not even familiar with them as well, which is pretty interesting. So there's a ton of different options when it comes to just various different pairs that you can trade as well. But, let's just say I want to look at, for example, Bitcoin. Here I can just see the Bitcoin chart, and it's pretty cool too. I can put in maybe a limit order here, and I can just set my stop so that I can see here, okay, I don't want to lose X amount of money per trade, and I can put my TP over to some specified level. And then if I want to cancel that limit order, I can just click on X. It's also pretty cool too. You can have trailing stops as well. And then another feature, which makes it slightly better than Kraken Prop in this specific way, is that you can actually group accounts together, which is very cool. So for example, if I go up here to where it says trade copier, I can just click that, turn that on, and I can just, for example, copy my trades together, which is really cool. And there's a ton of different features along with that. Now, if I want to go in each account, then I can also just take a look at the settings as well. And this is a great feature to have, as I can set my daily loss, right? I can essentially cap how much I'm willing to lose per day, and then it won't let me trade anymore after that. It'll lock me out. This is a great feature that some other TradFi futures platforms have. I've never seen one have for example, crypto. So I think this is a great feature to have. Overall, I really like that. So overall, I think IQ Capital is a really good prop firm. And right now, for the pricing that it has right now on the platform, I'm not sure if it will always have this pricing, but right now the pricing it has is very fair. For example, just to recap, you can get a $50,000 account for $40 if you use the code TREV. Overall, I think the dashboard and the trading platform is very intuitive as well. And so I'm a big fan. I really like using it, and I just thought I would put it on your guys' radar and just talk about it and give my review. So that's all I have for this one. I plan to be making more crypto prop firm reviews and all of that here soon. And I'll probably make more IQ Capital related videos here in the future. So that's all I have for this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one.